Use AI to become more handsome or beautiful with the click of just one button. Thank you, artificial intelligence. I've tested every single handsome maker filter and tool on the internet in my never ending search to become 1% more handsome. If you're tired of looking tired on Zoom, if you're tired of people asking if you're sick, and if you're just tired of being part of the background, then this video is going to show you how to pop, sparkle, and shine. I hope you're excited because I know I am. Let's fire up that intro. Most people treat Zoom like a toilet. They show up with bad lighting, bad audio, and a bad camera. I shoot every video in 4K, and that includes my podcast. It's really hard to make it look professional when I'm in 4K and the guest appears to be filming using a BlackBerry from 2007 in a closet while stormtroopers are searching their house so they can't afford to be too loud. It's possible to upscale video, add better lighting, and use AI tools to enhance every part of a video. But the later you do this, the harder it is to get a great result. I was watching the news recently, and these 24/7 news channels will interview experts who look like trash. It's your big break. Why are you going to screw it up? This video isn't about the best hardware to get a great scene. I'm not going to cover the best lights to get, the right microphone, or how to set up your background. Instead, I'm going to show you an AI tool that will absolutely revolutionize how you look on Zoom. And yes, you can use it for free. So this is what I look like on Zoom. Now, I'm not actually going to upload the Zoom video. I'm going to upload me recording the Zoom video. That's because Zoom compresses everything. If I make this file and I record it locally, it's 1 or 2 gigabytes, or it's 50 to 100 megabytes if Zoom has the file because it compresses it so much, usually down to 720 from 4K. So it's 1/4 the size. And that's just because of the way Zoom is built. Zoom's not really meant for recording high quality videos. And I want to give you guys a great experience. But let's dive into the features that it has that a lot of people use to try and improve the quality of their videos. So let me take you through the first and most common one. We've all seen this where someone blurs their background. And what happens immediately? Your first thought is, what's he hiding? And actually looks terrible. Look at my head. It's very hard to do good green screen where nobody can tell. It's almost impossible. If you look at a green screen setup at the movies, when they're shooting a movie where they have really complicated lighting, really complicated green screen, and it's hard to do. You need at least 3 lights on the green screen and 2 lights on you, maybe even 3 lights on you. It costs more than setting up a background. If you're doing this, there's a very good chance that people are getting turned off. A lot of people's first thought is, what are they hiding? It's very possible that people make the assumption that you're hiding something you're embarrassed by. Probably not that you're hiding that there's a supermodel or a super handsome guy in the room with you. Instead, you're hiding that your room is messy or that you're poor. That's unfortunate. That's the assumption people make. I know people made that about me for a long time when I was green screening, and this just looks terrible. Look at my hand. If you watch someone else's video and they have it fuzzed out, what's your first thought? And this is especially important if you're telling people that you're successful. If someone is teaching me how to be a millionaire and this is their fuzzy background, I don't trust them. It breaks all the trust. So let's turn that off because it just does not look good. There are some other options that Zoom has built in, and we're going to go through all of them. So we can choose a virtual background. Let's see what that looks like. We already tried blur. Here's me in front of the Golden Gate Bridge. Still obvious. Look around my head. My head no longer looks like the shape of a head, by the way. All this stuff along the side just looks terrible. Here's me in front of a bunch of grass. No one thinks this is real. Here's me in outer space. Even if you take the time to use a video background, it's very hard to make it work. And no one believes that I'm outside in the woods shooting a video right now, or I live on the beach and this isn't what the beach looks like. It's too low resolution. And the other issue is that the shadows won't match. In order to make a background believable, the lighting has to be coming from the same direction. I really don't like any of these filters and I encourage you not to use them. I tested a lot with green screen with Zoom. It doesn't work that well. Our video filters. And sometimes we use these to try and make things look better. Here's a boost. It's okay, right? But it's a little bit of a gray background. Here's Nor. This looks dumb. This is too overexposed. This one is okay. This one is called cream. So if you're going to do anything, this is the first place you should start, is playing with these video filters, because all these do is change the colors. Make sure you're not wearing a black shirt. When I was doing my practice for this video, I was wearing a black shirt. It was causing a lot of problems. I'm trying to make the black disappear, so I have to wear a different color. That's why I'm wearing a purple shirt. Now it looks blue. This is much better. This one obviously is not good. And this is the only way to find out this one's okay. So I would start with here. Of all the things that they have inside of Zoom, those are the only effects that I recommend. As soon as you start going into the other things, it looks dumb. My face isn't even on the screen. It's obvious that you're doing something. There's other things like this. No one's going to see this and go, oh, I want to work with him. I'm going to do business with him. I'm going to invest in his company, whatever you're doing, or butterfly freckles. These all look silly. So let's go to none. You can go to avatars as well, where it will turn me into a dog. This is another direction people go in. You can see now it looks like I'm a moving dog. And honestly, it's not great, but this is better than a blurry background. And there's a lot of people that don't do anything. There's a lot of people that when they're on Zoom, this is all they show you. And I really don't like that. There's people that do this on YouTube. They don't take the time to have a cartoon character. So that's better than this. The next level, and I'll make sure you can see it on the screen. So that was avatars, is to go back to video filters or virtual backgrounds. You'll see a button here called Studio Effects. And this is interesting because it's hard for me to show it to you and not block out my face, but that's what I'm trying to do. What it does is it will modify your face. Now here's eyebrows, watch my eyebrows. But if I move fast, it becomes obvious. And I don't think these are men's eyebrows. I think these are all lady eyebrows. That's why they all look weird. I don't think any of these make me look better. And you can choose the color of the eyebrows, or you can get my eyebrows to be blue, and then it becomes really obvious that it's weird. That really draws how weird they look on you. I don't think that it's convincing, and that's what's important. The beard works. It does pass the test more because it's just adding a tiny amount of beard to me, but none of these are enough that it's worth it. Like here's a Van Dyke. And it's hard for it to be perfect. I don't see how that improves the video, but I wanted you to see that. You can change the color of your mouth. It looks weird. Using AI makeup stuff tends to be obvious, but this is as far as Zoom can take it. If you're just going to start with level 1 of all the choices in Zoom, let me turn off Studio Effects because they're all terrible. Don't use virtual backgrounds, don't blur, and just use the first row of video effects. So you're going to find one that's okay. This one, it messes up my LED lights, it kills that effect there. Same thing with this. But that's the way that Zoom compresses. That's where it really draws itself away. It becomes super obvious because on my other camera, it looks fine. This is the first level of video filters, and I want this to be your first idea, but this is as far as Zoom can take it. Now let's go to the next level. This is a tool called FineCam from a company called FineShare. Everything about the way this page is designed and the way these things look turns me off. I honestly did not want to review this tool. They have a lot of promises that they connect to your favorite platforms by creating a virtual camera. You can turn this on and then send that feed to Zoom. So it goes my camera to FineCam to Zoom, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do this. You can use your phone as your camera, and they have a lot of other cool things that I don't like their marketing. I don't like their videos on YouTube, but the app is actually really good. And I was worried that you were going to have to pay to try it, but you can actually try it for free, and it's not really a problem. Let's look at the pricing. I think that's important to know right now. It's that this is the price for lifetime, which is very reasonable. I would not do a subscription. Why would you pay $30 a year when you can pay $60 for life? And the license is really generous. The couple things are really important to me. 50 mobile devices is like crazy. You can keep changing phones all the time. 2 computers is important because I have a desktop and a laptop. The price is reasonable. I like things that are lifetime buy. They give you free upgrades forever. They just keep connecting you and doing all those things. So it's great. But they also have discounts if you have a larger team or a student and a teacher. The question is, does it live up to the hype? Let's take a look. This is the FineCam dashboard. This is a scene right down here. This is the free version. I want you to see what the free version looks like. Notice that it has FineCam on the screen. $60 is what gets rid of that. That's what you're paying to get rid of if that bothers you or not. This app is pretty good. Let me show you the different features it has. Let's look at their blur. And I want you to notice that you can still see that this is a guitar, that these are lights. The zoom blur overdoes it. The zoom blur is I'm hiding something. This doesn't bother me. I consider this to be an elegant version of the blur. I like that a lot. If you want to completely remove the background, this is as good as you're going to get. It's because the chair is blue. My eyes are blue. It's hard for it to chroma key. If you have a green screen behind you, you can play around with that. It works fine. I do have one, but it's not worth it. The quality with it, it's just not the direction I want you to go in. You can try a virtual background. It's not working. The virtual backgrounds in Zoom are better. This is a more believable situation, but if I'm on the computer, why is the computer behind me? These are not the part of the tool that we want to use. That's not what we want to be using. Instead, you're going to click here. I want to give you one caveat before we start doing this. When you test a color, then you want to go back to original and turn them off. If I test 3 or 4 or 5 in a row, I'll start freezing inside of here or inside of Zoom. So it's better to turn one on than turn it off. That's just one thing I noticed in my testing, but let me show you some of the differences. Already it's interesting. There's a lot of buttons. Zoom one only gives you 6 or 7 to choose from. This is much more granular. And I need to go in and try a lot of different things to find the one that I like the most. We're going to try a bunch of these and just see what looks. And here's what's important. At daytime and nighttime, I need to use different ones. If I have the background lights on, I have that blue background or the purple shading in the background. I need to do different things. And you can see my green screen is right there because it's in the back. The blue lights are hitting it, so it's not showing as green. But we can do some really cool things. I have the fuzz turned off, but the blur is okay because it's subtle. It's enough to hide the background, but not enough to make it look like you're hiding something. If I go here, it doesn't work. I can tell right away the ones I like and don't like. The bottom of my face is too dark. I go back and forth and go, does it make it better? A little bit. It looks a little more cinematic slightly. Let's look at Reeve. Too much. I look like I'm in Sin City or 300. The ones that I found were the best are further down. See, Cubicle does not work with my skin tone. It looks weird. You're going to have a different skin tone to me. You're going to have different color hair than me, different color eyes. I like that there's a lot of sets. The two best ones for me are Byers and Domingo. This is Byers. I think this looks really good. I think this looks almost shockingly good, is my opinion. And then here's Domingo. Domingo is more subtle, but I think right now Byers is the best. Now let's talk about the other features in here just quickly. So you can add in a logo and stuff to the screen. You can put a logo on the corners. I don't care about that. You can fine tune, and I'll show you how this works. This is saturation. Lower the saturation. Looks terrible. Max the saturation. Not as terrible. So if you mess it up, you can just hit reset, which I love. You can play with the brightness, so you can see what's the right setting for you. That's too dark, but if you want to, you can mess with settings as well. So it has the granular control as well as the one button. I like that it has one button. I can push one button and get a good result. I can turn it off, and we're going to go back to Byers, which is my favorite. Here's where this tool really surprised me. You can choose your microphone, and it connects to my best microphone. There's no tricks to the setting. You click one button, it takes a picture, which works really well. And then if I click on record, I've already used this. In fact, I'm going to show you some content from this. Let's hit record. This is what it looks like when I'm recording with the Byers preset directly through FineCam. I also used this during the intro at the beginning of the video just to give you a sense of how quickly you can make something good by clicking one button. And this is what it looks like when I use their recorder. There's a little logo right below me, but that's not a big deal to me because I'm demonstrating their product. I don't mind it. And it looks great. You go, yeah, this is what I'm using, guys. So I'm not ashamed of it because it's just enhancing. It's not going so far that it changes what I actually look like. With this free version, it just recorded that in 4K, which is amazing. It's not any upgraded feature. And it was that easy. Recording in a lot of other tools is actually hard. There's two other things I want to show you. The first is you can add scenes. I don't use multiple scenes. I don't have multiple cameras connected to my computer. I do have a second camera that I shot some of the intro with. It's just over here mounted, but I record directly to the camera. I don't record to the computer. My computer can't handle doing that. There are some things over here where you can change settings right away, like low, medium, high. You can change the chroma key color stuff. This is really elegant. Here you can play with brightness. You can see what it does. Leave it down. I didn't think I was going to like this software. When you can see by my face, when I find something I like, I want to talk about it. The coolest thing is right here, virtual camera. If I want to send this to Zoom, I click the second one. This is which version of Mac you're using, which version of OS X. I'm higher than that. I'm the latest version. Turn this on. Now you're going to see some magic. There may be some slowdown in the recording. That's because I'm recording this with one app. I have FineCam open and I have Zoom open. Let me show you Zoom. Here's what I look like in Zoom. We're going to switch the camera to FineCam. There is some delay happening, and that's because I'm recording in multiple places. You can see the drop in frame rate. I'm not going to make you watch too much of this, but I want you to see that's the process. I'll show it to you one more time. I just have a second camera I can choose, which is FineCam IO. This pops up as soon as I turn on that button in FineCam, and it works very well. what I'm going to do next is show you a demo that I record in Zoom. So please forgive me for dropping the resolution, but I want you to see that in Zoom, it's not actually artifacting like this. This is me recording directly into Zoom. What you're going to notice is that the quality is a little bit lower. The audio is not as good because Zoom is compressing everything, but I want you to see the difference. This is me recording straight from my camera. What I'm going to do now is switch to FineCam. What it looks like when I record in FineCam. So what I want you to see is there a little bit of a slowdown. It does use some computer processing power, right? Because it's running it through an effect. This is with no effects on. I just restarted FineCam, restarted this. Let's turn on the effect. And I'm going to turn on buyers. And I think this looks great. So you can see that there may be a slight drop in frame rate. I'm using an M1 Mac Mini. And definitely when I have 3 recordings happening at the same time, where I was shooting with my 4K camera and it was going into the recorder and into FineCam and into Zoom at the same time, I was slowing it down. But right here, I don't really notice anything. But again, it's up to you to see what it looks like when you're actually using this in Zoom. But overall, I am very pleased with this. I'm very impressed with this effect. I do think it's enough better than the built-in Zoom effects that it's worth it. What I'm looking for, as always, is something where I just push one button and I get the result I'm looking for. I can also use FineCam to record locally. What I'm doing now, and it's a little bit silly, is I'm recording from FineCam into Screenflow. Screenflow is the screen recorder that I use. I don't really know why I would do this because FineCam records in 4K with no problem, but I can use this locally to go from one tool to another. I want you to see what it looks like. So I can even record like this for the conclusion of the video and shoot in a little bit higher quality. Overall, FineCam, for something that's a great camera recorder and makes me look great, I'm pretty sure I'm going to buy this and add it to my workflow. I have so many screen recorders, but this does something very specific and I like it. $60 to get rid of this little thing is worth it. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Does this look better? Am I artifacting? Does it look weird? One of the tests I do is move my hand and say if it looks weird or not, because you'll know right away. If there's a big delay, the fingers will look crazy. That's the biggest giveaway. If my voice slides out of sync, let me know your thoughts in the comments below because I want to know what you guys think of this, if I should use this more often. I'm certainly going to use it in my Zoom meetings. The question is if I should use it when I'm recording these videos for you guys as well. Let me know what you think. People use bad green screen or fuzz out their background. It just looks bad. If you're looking at your background and thinking it's good enough, it's not. I always wonder what someone is hiding when they use bad green screen. And I'm not judging you. For years, I shot live video at night with a green screen. And on the other side of it, my wife and children were sleeping. So I was hiding something behind the green screen. When I first began my search to find the perfect AI enhancer, I went down some real rabbit holes. I dragged hundreds of sliders and dozens of filters to change the sharpness, luminosity, gamma, hue, saturation, and a whole bunch of other things. I was pulling a slider in a software mask when I just said enough is enough. If I have to pull sliders, then I'm not going to make this video. I want something that's easy, so I dove deeper and I found FineCam. I honestly hate their marketing. Their videos and website. I really figured that this tool would be terrible and I barely pushed the download button, wondering if I would have to erase my hard drive when this thing crashed my computer. I did not think this would be the tool I would be sharing in this video. It's possible to do everything that FineCam does using OBS and a set of filters. It takes a couple of hours to set up, but then you can save the settings and it works from there on out. Even though that method does use AI, it sure doesn't feel like AI. I want something where I can push one button that says handsome and it just works. I spend a lot of time on my lighting, but none of that matters during the day. I live near the equator, and when the sun is out, it's going to come through those blinds no matter what I do. I don't want to invest in blackout curtains because I like the sun. That's why I live here. And that's the exact reason I want something that works with Zoom and I can click one button and it just makes me look nicer. I don't want to change my settings twice a day based on the position of the sun. What a nightmare. I really like FineCam because it works. It has enough presets that you will find one that works for you. You can test it for free and immediately look better in your Zoom meetings. And if it doesn't work, just turn it off. If you've made it this far, I appreciate you spending so much time with me. If you could hit that like button, it will help more people to find my videos and will tell YouTube to show you more videos like this one. If you hit the subscribe button, you'll see more of my videos in your feed. And if you hit that bell, you'll get notified each time I post a new video. I'm on a mission to grow this channel, and that means I need to make high quality videos and really master my craft. Your vote lets me know if I'm moving in the right direction. I hope you've learned a little something today, or at least had a little fun. I know I did. Goodbye for now, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked that video, I think you're going to like this one, or maybe even this one. Check them out.